this is Bobby, and I am here with my week 4/week 5 reading vlog. We were watching my niece and nephew for the past, my niece for the past 2 weeks, my nephews from the past week after they got back from their trip, and I totally underestimated how crazy it would be to be watching, two under 10-year-old kids, and trying to find time to film was not going to happen at all. I was able to do my 90s popsy culture TBR video, and that was it, and I had to film that one at like 1 o'clock in the morning because it was about the only time it was quiet in my house. So trying to get a reading vlog in was not going to happen, so I'm just gonna kind of lump them up together. But I do want to do my June wrap-up video, which I'm hoping to film next, so I will do more of what I read and everything through that. I'm just going to go over 3 books that I read in the past for my week 4 video, and then I'll do 3 for my week 5. I've also re-signed up for NetGalley, which, if you don't know, which I'm probably everybody here does know, is a website where you can request ARCs of books, which are advanced reader copies. And I've been kind of doing just the read now books, especially the graphic novels. I think I really want to stick with graphic novels for there because they're ones that I know I can definitely finish in a really good time, and that I know that I will be able to do reviews for, because on my old account I just hit a really bad reading slump and I had requested quite a few books and it just messed up my numbers really bad. But I really want to start over, and I'm excited to. I've already put in, I think, 3 reviews, so I really liked those, and it's been great getting back into that. And then I know they're going to be doing audiobooks soon, which, since I have just gotten into audiobooks, I love that. I'll talk about a couple of the audiobooks that I did read as well, because I ended up finishing my Witch Path. I finished my Courtier Path, my Exile Path, the Monarch Path, and then I did a Secret Path, which I will talk about in my June wrap-up video. So let's get started on what I have read. I'll start with the NetGalley ones because I just did those. I read Fangs, which was a graphic novel. It is really cute. It's a slice of life comic, but it takes place with the 2 main characters. One is a vampire and the other is a werewolf. They meet, they fall in love, and this is kind of just their story together, and it was really, really, really cute. I loved the art. I thought it was adorable. It had some really cute moments between the characters. I finished it within like maybe 30-40 minutes. It was really fun though. I definitely just recommend checking it out. The other that I read was Vampire State Building, which is from the same creative team as The Walking Dead, so the art is like completely similar, which was cool, and I was a fan of The Walking Dead comics. I never finished them, but I do have to finish them. Now that I know that the series is complete, I definitely want to dive back in and just finish it all off as fast as I can. This takes place in New York, at the Empire State Building. A tomb gets uncovered and it is a ancient vampire, and the whole building ends up getting swarmed by vampires. Really cool. The art was great. I believe this was originally a 4-series comic that they have bound into the one volume. I believe I went with 3.5 or 4 stars on that one. It was really cool. It was super fast paced. Everything starts happening within the first, I think, 4 or 5 pages, and then it just keeps on going. The only thing for me is the end felt really, really abrupt. But for such a limited run, it's bound to happen. But it was really cool. I recommend it, especially if you're a fan of The Walking Dead. I was like, the vampires had a very zombie quality to them, which was really cool, which reminded me of The Strain by Guillermo del Toro, and I think it's Chuck Herb. Who was the other author? I can't remember. But I really liked that series. It was cool, and that's kind of what this one reminded me of. But it was, like I said, it was really action-packed and really fun and really fast. now to go back into some of the last June reads that I had. This one was the last book for my Witch Path, which is a book featuring occult themes. Yeah, I hated this book. There's no way else for me to put it but the fact that I hated every single page of this book. I had only heard good things about this book. Everyone said it was just fun. It was kind of cliche, but it was a fun book. Yeah, I don't know if I read the same book because I hated it. And that is The Wicked Deep by Erin Earnshaw. Or Shay Earnshaw. Shay Earnshaw. I hated, like I said, I didn't like any characters. I didn't connect with any characters. There was a big, gross trigger warning that should have been mentioned, but I never saw mentioned on anybody, and nobody seems to have a problem with it. It's super spoily if I was to say it. I'll probably talk about it. I want to do a hate video of this one and one other book that I read this for June, because they were my two 2-star reads, and like I said, the only reason they got 2 stars is because I finished them. Every other 2-star, the only time I give 1 star is if it's a DNF. I finished this book in a day. How I finished it in a day, I don't know, because it was a complete hate read. It was like, the only reason I did finish it is because this is the one that I did a buddy read with my friend Emma, who ended up hating the book as well. I just didn't want a DNF on this readathon, so I forced myself to finish it. But like I said, I finished it in a day, so it wasn't that bad, but it just got worse and worse and worse for me. So yeah, I will be unhauling this book, but the only reason that I would ever want to keep it is because this cover is so beautiful, but it's so shitty. I hated it. So that's where I'm at on that one. But that was the finishing of my Witch Path. This next one was, I added it into my Monarch Path, and it was for the prompt, book featuring royal colors, and this was a total cover buy, and that is Snow Glass Apples by Neil Gaiman and illustrated by Colleen Doran. Look at that beautiful cover. It is flawless. The artwork inside is phenomenal. Like, I could literally just open this to any page and I will get, ooh, that's not safe for work, so we're not gonna show that side. Yes, this is very adult, so they got nudity, but look at that. Look at the colors, and just, I'm not gonna show that because it's the nudiness. But yeah, this is a retelling of Snow White, but this takes place in the point of view of the evil queen. She is actually not evil. She is just a young girl who ends up falling for this king, and when she moves in with him, she meets his daughter, which is Snow White. And I don't know if this came out before the meme that I would see around like Tumblr and stuff, where if Snow White, when you hear the way she's depicted, it's closer to a monster than it would be, someone that is beautiful. And this really, like I said, I don't know which one came first, but that's what it reminded me of. And I bought this because it was Neil Gaiman, and I picked it up because of the cover. And it follows that as what if Snow White was a monster, and it is so great. I loved it. It's a really short graphic novel comic book. Recommend this. So good. But the artwork, just, you don't even have to read it, just look at the artwork. It is phenomenal. The next one was one that I ended up, I had extra time near the end of my readathon for another book, and I just kind of threw it in. It fit into my courtier path, which the prompt that I went for was with it, I added it to it, was a book featuring a large cast of characters. Didn't even know that was in this until I started reading it. I literally just picked it up because the audiobook was available and I needed something to listen to, since I've been doing a lot of audiobooks right now, especially because it was easier to listen to a book while watching my niece and nephew rather than reading a book, so I added this one. It was such a surprising read because I really, really enjoyed it, though it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a straight up horror because if you look at the cover, it's very creepy, but it was not that at all. But it was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it, and that is Beneath the Citadel by Destiny Soria. This follows a group of friends who were trying to break into this citadel, which is kind of like the governing office for their world, which they believe they're corrupt. One of the main characters, Casa, her parents were rebels and they were killed, and now she has kind of picked up where they left off, trying to still fight for, for her people. And her and her friends break in. They end up getting caught. They're all a bunch of smartasses. This is an LGBT plus friendly book, which was a awesome surprise. We have a bi character who does say that he is bi. We have a ace character who also comes out and says that she is ace. She knew she was ace. She was not forced into any kind of romantic plot or anything. It was freaking awesome. I loved that character as a fellow ace. She was my favorite. There is one of the other characters. It's not really mentioned, but I believe he is gay. We get a really cute relationship building in it. This had one of the best kind of like just friendships all the way around. I've noticed usually when there is a bigger cast of characters, and especially if they are supposed to be friends, that it doesn't get evenly kind of distributed. Some people get pushed to the back, but no, every character gets their chapter. You see the way their different relationships work with each other, and I loved it. When this group of friends breaks in, they get caught, they get sent to, it's supposed to be a death sentence, which is, they get sent beneath the Citadel, where it is believed that there is a monster that lives down there, which is what eats them, or they don't know. Nobody really knows what happens. When they do get sent down there, they end up finding this man that's living down there, and he explains to them who he is, because in this world there are different people with powers. One of the most popular ones seems to be the Rooks, which they can steal people's memories. So that was such a cool concept for this, because you don't know, this is very much a unreliable narrative book, because you don't know what you're missing, because characters keep getting their memories taken from them, and you don't know what's happening because they don't remember, and you're reading from their point of view. So if they don't know, you don't know. I loved it. There were so many twists and turns to this that were really fun. One of the other characters, they can be bonded to different elements. He gets bonded to silver, so he's able to do kind of tricks with silver. He carries these silver coins with him, which is really cool. One of the other characters, he's kind of like a contortionist almost, and it was really interesting to read about him. He was one of my other favorite characters. One of the other ones, she's kind of a seer, but she wants to be an alchemist, so she is more practicing and with the different elements and stuff, which is really cool. And then we have one of the other main characters, where she's just kind of the leader of the group, but she's a total smartass, and I love it. There's also one of their other friends who is a Rook, but just seeing all the relationships and then how the story builds. Like I said, there's so many twists and turns in this. I didn't know what this was about at all when I picked it up. This was a complete cover buy for me, because I thought it was just, look at that, it's really cool. But it was so much fun. I definitely wanted to check out more of Destiny Soria's work, because I loved her writing style. The audiobook on this was really, really fun. You don't get lost with all the different characters. It's really easy to follow along with, but yeah, I recommend this one if you just want something really fun and different to read. So that was some of my last of my Make Your Myth Taker reads. These next three are for the Popsy Culture readathon. Doing really good time. This first one is also for the Tower readathon hosted by Shakar over on Twitter, and that is The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. This is the second book in the Gunslinger saga. It's very, I don't know how many books are in it. I think there's 7 books in total. This is book 2. I read this book about 16 years ago, so I didn't remember a lot of it. I remembered literally about the last 25% of this book, so maybe about like that much is what I remembered. I do not remember any of this happening. The story follows a man named Roland who is a gunslinger. He's the last of his kind, and he's trying to make his way to this dark tower. In the first book, he is hunting down this man in black who he eventually catches up to in the first book. And in this one, he's kind of just left by himself now, and he stumbles across this door, and when he goes through, it is labeled the prisoner. When he goes through, he ends up in this guy's head, and he's seeing through his point of view. I can't remember the time that the second guy, the first door is, because there's different times that he sees, and then the other door, because he ends up finding 3 doors. The second door is a woman, Odetta, because there is a kind of dual personality with her, and I really love that character. But I did the audiobook for this one as well as I read along with it. I loved the narrator because there's these lobster monsters in here that make this really weird sound, and the way he makes it just cracked me up, and I thought it was freaking funny. And this was originally a 5-star book for me when I first read it. This stayed as a 5-star book. I enjoyed everything about it. I'm so excited to finally be getting back into this series, because the farthest I made it was maybe about 15% of the third book, The Wasteland, which I will be reading next month, because this readathon we read 1 book per month. And I'm really excited to get to that one. Now that I'm diving back into this series, I'm hooked. And I kind of want to just keep on going, but I'm going to hold off and do the 1 book a month, because I know I won't tire myself out, because I think I'll get maybe 4 books in and then I'll just stop. This 1 book a month is really, really good for this kind of series, because it is really heavy. But yes, I definitely recommend this series. It's really fun. I love Stephen King, so... And this was for the tile on the Popsy Culture thrill ride. This is the What's Your Favorite Scary Movie tile, and it is a book written by one of your favorite authors. Stephen King is a favorite author of mine. I have a whole shelf dedicated to him. So yes, I cannot wait to get into book 3. The next one is not for my first 2 cards, which is the thrill ride card and the teen drama card. This is gonna probably end up on the family drama card, which I'll probably do a video talking about which prompts I want to get on there, because I'm not really sure which line I'm going with. And that is The City of Brass. I am doing the audiobook with this one. I got this one as a gift from one of my book swap partners. It was one of her favorite books of the year, she said, and I can see why. I'm less than 200 pages in, but I'm loving it so much. Like, the world is phenomenal. It's beautiful. The writing is amazing. We follow these 2 different characters. What is her name? Nahari and Ali. She is from the human world, but she has these powers where she heals instantly, and she knows all these different languages, and she even knows a language where she's never heard, and she doesn't know what it is, and she ends up calling this accidentally calling this jinn, and she ends up getting hunted down by this other, I can't remember if they were like a jinn or another creature, and he ends up pulling her into the magical world, and they're kind of trying to make their way to this city. And then we meet the character Ali. He is, I believe, a prince, and he has these kind of thoughts where people should be more equal because in their world they're not. And I can't wait to see where he's going. I just kind of got into where they're talking more about him, and I'm really interested, but haven't seen a lot about this, but everything I have seen has been positive, and I have a feeling this is going to be a 5-star book because I love it. The world is phenomenal. The writing, like I said, is just beautiful, and I cannot wait until, like, a lot of shit's already happened, but I can't wait until everything just kind of picks up more. Like I said, I'm not that far in. We're kind of still getting to know the main characters and everything and kind of what's going on in the past. I believe I just stopped on the part where they're talking about the past of the Jinn. Can't remember his name though. Stara, I think. But yeah, I'm like blowing through this one. I just kind of want to sit down and just listen to this and read along because I love it. The next one is for the Jurassic Park tile off of the Thrill Ride card, and that is the prompt, a book taking place on an island or near a body of water. I have started the Extinction Trials Exile. This is book 2 in the Extinction Trials trilogy. The first book was so much fun. It is Jurassic Park meets The Hunger Games, and that's what it says on the cover. That's exactly what it is. It's really fun. I loved the first one. I think I read it in a day or two because I couldn't put it down because it was just really, really fun. This one I do not have an audiobook for or anything. I am reading it. I'm only about 30 pages in. I just started it, but I am already hooked back into these characters because this is another dual perspective book. The 2 main characters are Storm Chaser, who she is this girl with lavender eyes, and she lives in this world where dinosaurs still exist, and they live on an island where they're already running out of food, they're running out of space, there's just nothing left, so they end up going over to this other island where the dinosaurs still live, and they want to see about moving over there, and of course shady stuff has to happen. But in this one, they are supposed to be going back over there or something, but she really likes the dinosaurs. The boy Lincoln, who is the other perspective, he just joined the trials because he wanted to save his sister because there is a kind of plague going around and she has it and it spreads very fast. The ending for the first one was great. This picks up right when the other one ends, or it's a couple months after, but it doesn't feel like it's been that long of a gap because it catch you up like kind of what the characters' lives have been up to. But yes, I really, really loved this. I am probably going to rereading this as soon as I finish filming because I cannot wait to see where this goes, and I already have book 3, which I'm hoping to get to as well. So that is where I'm at. But alright, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and happy reading. Bye.